All right, so let's jump into the debrief. I'm going to share my screen here.
2425 Constance.
Okay. All right, so question 1. Level of Medicaid is based on level of income. True or false? Who would like to answer? Ken, go ahead.
That is
sir.
true.
That is true. Medicaid is based off income. It's based off how much money they make. If they're under the poverty limit of income, under a certain percentage, then they would qualify for Medicaid. That is correct. Thank you, Ken. All right, question 2. Mr. Wagner typically pays $0, $5.10, and $12.65 for each of his medications. He recently went to pick up his inhaler at the pharmacy and was informed that he had to pay $72. He currently has Humana MAPD plan. Do you believe that he has LIS?
This looks promising.
Robin, go ahead.
Yes, it's the third one down. The co-payments for his medication align with the one on LIS. The inhaler may not be covered under his plan's formulary, which is why it is that cost.
That is correct. That is correct. So if he's paying $0, $5.10, and $12.65, why do we think he's paying $72? It could not be covered under the formulary, under the plan that he's in. That is correct. Any questions on 2? All right. Question 3. Ms. Smith has Medicare, Medicaid, and is enrolled in a DSMP HMO MAPD without travel coverage. She lives in North Carolina and goes to visit her sister in Illinois for a few months. While visiting, she gets a cold and goes to her sister's PCP for an office visit. How much do you believe that Ms. Smith will need to pay for her visit? Go ahead, Michael.
100% of the bill, sir.
All right, and why is that? She has the MAPD plan.
Because the MAPD is for her in-state coverage, and be it that she has an HMO, it doesn't have a preferred provider organization coverage to allow her to go out of network, out of state.
That is correct. Yeah, so this is an HMO plan without travel coverage. So if they don't have any travel coverage in an HMO, they can go to the emergency room in urgent care, but they would be responsible for 100% of the bill outside of that. Thank you, Michael. That is correct.
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that, guys. You'll see that we have quite a few here select 20% of the bill. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. Whenever you go with a Medicare Advantage plan, you're no longer able to just show your red, white, and blue card. And I've had agents that came and worked with us that were confused about that aspect. They thought, oh, well, if your doctor doesn't accept it, you just show your red, white, and blue card. That is not the case anymore. I mean, Medicare is paying the private insurance company to administer, the Medicare Advantage plan. Therefore, they have to show that. Now, if they had to go to an emergency room or something to that extent, obviously they would have coverage. But in this situation, just going to a regular doctor out of network, you are paying 100% of the bill.
Perfect.
Virtual office visit is a good option for that.
All right, looks like we have a couple of questions. Andrea, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I know I got this wrong because I thought it was saying that the insurance company was going to pay 0%, but isn't it true that even if you have an HMO, sometimes if you're traveling, you may still be in network, like because some of those networks align, or are you just saying because it is without travel insurance, it was never going to be covered anyway, regardless HMO, PCP, or whatever else, just simply because it doesn't have travel insurance or travel coverage? I'm sorry.
Yeah, if the HMO doesn't actually have a travel benefit in it, then they have to stay in network in their area. If they go travel to a different state, it's considered out of network, so then the plan won't actually pick it up. They'll be fully responsible for it.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted that clarity. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Great question. Ben?
hey, this is the more ironic for me because I was under the impression that since she had Medicaid, that was just pick it up, even though she was out of state, didn't have travel coverage. If you have full Medicaid, they say, I think y'all gave shit. Yeah, I know so now I know, even if she does have full Medicaid, if it's out of network or like out of state, with even if like no travel coverage means no travel coverage, period. Medicaid.
That's correct. Yeah, so Medicaid's only going to pick up, right? So Medicaid's only going to align with the actual plan that they have. So if the network with what the plan that they have doesn't offer any type of travel coverage, Medicaid's not going to pick up the rest of the cost for them.
Okay.
Yeah, if it was
No,
a
great
PPO, Mr. Rogers, then obviously they're going to pay a good bit less. But in this particular scenario, HMO, without the travel coverage, that's where the answer is for. Okay?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Perfect. Gwendolyn? Oh, you muted, ma'am.
I'm sorry, mine is more for clarification, even though I got it correct. Because of the DSNP, she's in the non-travel. I'm sorry, words are hard today. She is not covered because she doesn't have the travel. The Medicaid doesn't cover because it's state-based. Now, if she were, let's just say she went like 10 counties down in Texas and she's a different region, not having travel, she's still not going to be covered, right?
It's still
No,
could
but
be
she-
the case that, with the region, like you're talking to, in Charlotte,
Service
North
area.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever
North
service area.
Carolina, they have a very similar thing where they're going to pay 100% of the bill by going to the other side of the state. So that is actually.
So that's what I was trying to clarify. All right, so just because she's out of the service area, that means she's going to have to pay it 100%. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And there can be like these unique one-offs, guys. For instance, some of the tri-state areas. Like I live right on the border, or close to the border of North Carolina, and there are South Carolina where HMOs where an individual can actually go into North Carolina. But it's because that doctor has billing in both states, so they're able to coordinate that. And you'll find that in some different tri-states where it does allow you to cross lines because of how they do the billing, and they're still going to be covered. But in this scenario, going from North Carolina, obviously, to Illinois, it's a little too far.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I got this one right, but from my previous experience, I've seen some of the HMOs actually have travel coverage in network. It depends on, of course, the carrier and the. But that one, I was like thinking about it, but then I kind of looked at the question and just kind of went off my gut. But just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, that's why we in bold. If you didn't notice, it says without.
Ah, that's a good point.
All right. Great questions. So question 4, for 2026, if a client has changed level of LIS, then they have the ability to use MCD as an SEP to make a change to their current Medicare coverage. Yes or no? Tara, go ahead.
No, they'd have to use NLS.
That's right. That was going to be my follow-up question. Yes, thank you. All right. And what is MCD for, Tara?
It's for change in Medicaid or
There we
gain
go.
or loss of Medicaid.
That is correct. So MCD is for Medicaid, and we'll dive deeper into election period soon. But yes, that this answer is no. If they have a change in LAS, then it would be NLS. That is correct. Thank you, Tara. So question 5, select the levels of Medicaid that qualify for using the INT election period. Let's go with Lee.
That's QMB plus, SlimB plus, and FBDE.
Yes, that is correct. That is
Somebody
correct.
just went through, they selected all of them. They're like, let's go with all of them for this integration.
Hell no.
Yeah, so QMB plus, SLMB plus, FBDE are the levels of Medicaid a person has to have. One of the qualifications to be able to use INT for this. Thank you, Lee. All right. Question 6. So Mr. Wynn is not certain of the coverage that he has. He informs you that when he goes to the doctor that he pays high amounts of 80 plus for his first few visits, and then he pays less as the year goes by. He states that he normally receives a bill in the mail for his doctor visits. When he picks up his medications, he pays $0 co-payments for each of his Tier 1 drugs and $15 for the Tier 2 drug that he's taking. What do you believe that Mr. Wynn has? Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, it's got to sound that he has several diseases. Most likely his co-payments will be close to deductible, so that's getting low all the time. And then with the LIS, $15 ruled out now because there wasn't anything that told me that he'd pay $15 copay for LIS. But logic for me was yes, it was original Medicare and spending on PDP.
That is correct. Yep. So we know that he doesn't have a supplement. Why? He has original Medicare. He's paying more at the beginning of the year, and then it goes down. Then he receives a bill, right? He's going to receive a bill for the rest of the year, and then we know that he doesn't have LAS because he's paying normal copays for his Tier 1 and Tier 2 medications. That would be in an MAPD or a standalone PDP plan. He would have drug coverage and would pay normal drug tiers with being in a PDP. So yes, that is correct. Thank you, Jeff. Original Medicare and the standalone PDP. Any questions on 6? All right. Question 7. Anytime Mrs. Johnson goes to the doctor, her copayment is $0 for her PCP and specialist that she goes to. When she picks up her medications, they are typically $0 each. What do you believe that Mrs. Johnson has?
She has to be down there.
Tristan.
Yes, sir. That's going to be full Medicaid.
All right. And what indicators do you believe that the reason why she has full Medicaid?
Yeah, yes, sir. So it's the entirety of the question. So zero at her PCP, specialist, same thing with her medications. It's all aligning with it being full Medicaid.
Yes, that is correct. Yep, so she's not paying anything when she goes to a regular primary care specialist, $0 for medications. Wonderful. Yep, okay. She does have full Medicaid.
Santa Barbara's downhill.
All right, thank you, Tristan.
25 Constance.
Question 8. Mrs. Long informs you that she has Medicaid and received extra help on her medications. As your discussion continues, you find out that Mrs. Long pays $10 when she goes to the PCP and $45 each time she goes to a foot specialist. She informs you that she has Humana as her coverage, and she shows it anywhere she goes. She stated it helps her pay small amounts toward her medications, as each drug is $5.10 each. What do you believe she currently has? And Latanya.
She currently has a regular MAPD and LIS health.
All right, so are we thinking it is LIS as that?
Yes.
Perfect. Yes, that is correct. And how do we know that?
Copay for one at the PCP specialist, and then the drug is $5.10.
That is correct. Yep. So the indicators are the cost of each medication, and we know that she doesn't have Medicaid, so we can rule this out because of her copays at her primary care and specialist. We know that she has LAS based off her copayments for her medications. We know that she doesn't have a Medicare supplement plan because she wouldn't pay these copays. So yes, Latanya, that is correct. She has LAS.
And part of the reason that we have this, guys, is how many times have you talked to somebody that told you that they had something that they did not? Right? Many times. You're going to have that daily. Most times. Oh, yeah, I get help with everything. I got Medicaid. Well, we still have to be able to decipher it out. We don't just go in and say, oh, okay, we get a progressive plan. Everything's going to be zero, and then you have to pivot back because in reality they're going to have a $10 co-payment or a $30 co-payment, whatever it may be with the plan, and details on that.
Got it. Robin?
Well, it also said Humana has her coverage in the middle of it. However, there's some sub-plans that do have co-payments. Plan N or Plan K has co-payments.
Not a $10 and a $45.
Some of them do, though. Some of them have.
No, take a look at the end plan. I'll tell you what co-payments would be.
It's always $20 for a match.
Yeah, so Plan N, it would normally be up to a $20 co-payment at their primary care specialist after deductible. So just the indicator here is just, $10 and $45 each time that she goes to a foot specialist. So
we got a lot.
That's the indicator there, but that's a good talking point. Thank you, Robin. All right, question 9. So Mr. Johnson has Medicare and Medicaid since he started receiving his benefits at age 65. He recently got married after a few months, he received a letter stating that he was going to lose his Medicaid. Which scenario would be why he is losing his coverage?
I'm good.
Olivia?
Increase in household income. Medicaid qualifications are based on both their incomes now. And Miss Johnson could have made a lot of money, like she hit that $1 billion Powerball. And the lottery. LIS.
You like funny, huh?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
We don't need this.
Anyway, man, come on. It's funny, right? It's funny.
Serious?
That's right. So if they get married, that's going to affect that possibly if somebody makes more money, their spouse makes more money, that can definitely put them outside of that poverty level of income. That is correct. Thank you, Olivia.
Hey, I'm going to let you do something like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes I found couples where the husband maybe qualified for Medicaid and the spouse, the wife, no. Or maybe the spouse is and the husband no. And I always ask, if your husband qualifies, you need to qualify.
Yeah, that's her.
And they told me no. If I ask for my Medicare, I need to put the spend down. Oh my goodness. So sometimes there are special situations, I think.
Infection takes over.
Yeah, there's special situations for how people do their own setup in their house. And that's not something that we're going to ever have a discussion with. I kind of shared with you guys last week that we had somebody who kind of led somebody in that direction, Louis.
Where's
so they tried to tell them how to kind of trick the system, and they are no longer employed here. So different people, different strokes, different folks. Yes, it's my wife, but there are different things out there that we are just never going to engage with them and tell them how to do it.
I swear.
There we go. And Charles, I saw you had your hand up. Did you have a question?
No, I was just trying to answer the next question.
Okay. All right, perfect. So question 10, what is the election type code for the new full dual SCP? Go ahead, Charles.
It'd be INT, correct?
That is correct. So it's not MDE. That is no longer available. DEP, that is for prescription only. And FDS, not even sure what that is, but INT, that is a new election code. That is correct. Thank you.
Flower delivery service, FDA.
There we go. I love it. All right, Robin, did you have a question?
Yeah, so this is one I said that is worded trick because a person coming on new full dual Medicaid can be
We'll go back.
Well, it's MCD, correct?
He's gonna go back.
Oh, okay.
Damn it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
MDE was the SEC election period that we used for years for those who had Medicaid and was no longer.
2 years ago.
Change in Medicaid status is, as you stated, MCD. Change in LIS is NLS. I wish it was
Little easy. That is true. Alright. Moving on to 11. So Mrs. Avery goes to the doctor and shows her insurance card. At her PCP office, she does not pay anything. And when she goes to a specialist, she does not also pay anything. She does not take any medications and has never shown any card outside of her Medicare card and her Mutual of Omaha card when she went to the doctor or pharmacy. She does inform you that she has no Part D drug coverage. What do you believe she has? Ken, you've already answered. I appreciate it. I'm going to go with Cameron. You can keep it up, Cameron. I see you.
I thought you were calling me. All right. Yeah, I answered Medicare supplement.
All right. And what indicators in the question led you to that answer?
So she doesn't take any medication. So MAPD, anything with a D on the MA side stands for prescription drugs that she more than likely didn't utilize it. And also the Mutual of Omaha, typically like
Yes. And then what is another indicator? So right here, she doesn't pay anything whenever she goes to a specialist, right? As well. But big indicator, Mutual of Omaha. That's perfect, Cameron. And yes, Medicare supplement is the answer. Looks like we have a couple questions here. Allison, did you have a question?
I was gonna answer the next one.
Answer the next one. Okay. Anybody have a question, Ken or Miss Kent?
Yeah, sorry, I meant to raise my hand not to answer the question, but to ask one or a comment. I didn't like this question. I thought it was misleading.
You don't have to like it. It's just, it's for a conversation piece, right? So the important part is every one of them, she states that she has no Part D drug coverage. So that immediately eliminates the first three, right? People can have Medicare supplement and say, I drink herbal tea and I will not ever take drug coverage and or sign up for Part D drug coverage. So you do have individuals out there that will have a Medicare supplement without drug coverage for that simple reason. So based on their scenario here is Medicare supplement.
Again, this is just personal preference. I think the question should stick to the topic at hand, and we think we've really discussed, I got this question right, but I'm just saying, we didn't really discuss Medicare supplement in any depth, so, again,
we talked about it to a little extent. We discussed the fact that it's separate from your Part D drug coverage. But in this situation, based on the scenario, really the big call out is that everybody understands. First off, Mutual Omaha, very big providers out there. Somebody can deny their Part D drug coverage and still enroll into a Medicare supplement. In comparison to the other scenarios, whether it's LAS, Medicaid, or just a regular MAPD, they do all have the drug coverage included.
Yeah, see, my approach would just be to ask, follow-up questions in this scenario, just to verify that.
Luckily 98%. Yeah, luckily 98% of the class got this one right. So we kind of have an idea where we were going with it, and that's just providing some extra, details on the difference in a Medicare supplement, how Mutual of Omaha is pretty common out there, and other talking points there. So.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Ken.
Perfect. All right, on to 12. Someone will get help with cost sharing at the doctor if they have LAS. And Allison, I know you wanted to answer this.
The answer is no.
Why? But they have LAS. Why wouldn't they have to pay?
Helps with drug, non-medical. I think I said that right.
That's true. Yeah, it helps out with prescription drug coverage cost, deductible, and prescription drug premium only. So It does not help out at the doctor. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
Of course. Matt, did you have a question?
No, I was just raising my hand to answer the next question.
All right. I love the participation, guys, if I can get my word out. All right. So question number 13. Mr. Jones is 75 years old. When he goes to his PCP, he pays $0. When he goes and sees the diabetic specialist, he pays $45 per visit. When he goes to pick up his medications at the pharmacy, he normally pays $5.10 per drug and never more than $12.65 for any tiered drug that he takes. What do you believe that Mr. Jones currently has?
I put MAPD and LIS.
All right. And why did you choose that?
I chose the MAPD because of the copays. If he had original Medicare, it would be 20%. If he had a supplement, it would be at no cost or a specific copay. And then the dual special needs plan, it would, most likely be covered. And then the LIS, just based on the copays for his prescriptions.
Yeah, all of that. $5.10 to $12.65 is an indicator that, yes, he has LIS.
I'll see what it was.
And he definitely has the Medicare Advantage plan, paying $0 at his primary care, and then only $45 each visit at his specialist. So thank you, Matt. All right, question 14. You should enroll a client into the D-SNP without verifying eligibility through the carrier portal. Yes or no? Latia?
I said no.
All right. Well, if we verify if the person tells us that they're QMB and they have the letter, I mean, why wouldn't we go off that, and why do we have to check the carrier portal?
Because you have to make sure they're eligible for that plan in the carrier portal at the Medicaid level, matches, make sure,
Yeah.
that, or age appropriate too, because some plans and decent, but have to be for a certain age.
Not necessarily for a certain age, but you're definitely right. You're on the right track. We want to check the carrier portal. We want to make sure that they are actually eligible for the plan that we're wanting to put them in. So you are definitely right by that. So thank you, Latia.
Yeah, I was talking about the age part, because some people will see based on somebody's Medicaid level and assume because of that Medicaid level, and then it will say they're under 65 or something. Right. They have to be a certain age. That's all something like that.
Yep, understood. Thank you. All right, looks like we have a couple questions. Diana?
No, I was actually going to answer the next question.
All right, I'll let you answer the next one. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, and I just wanted to clarify this. I know from what you guys have been stating that, checking the carrier portal is crucial. But Sunfire usually does pull up the eligibility for the D-SNP. Is there a specific reason why we also have to check the carrier portal?
Yeah, about 50% of the time it's giving us accurate information, unfortunately, Matt. We found where it was identifying somebody as QMB when they were truly QMB plus. So because of that, we always, it's telling me, they have Medicaid, giving me the Medicaid number if I'm putting the information in. But we always want to verify with the carrier. And we can show you examples of, for instance, Aetna stating that the customer was QMB plus, comparison to WellCare saying they were only QMB level. And we always want to make sure that even though we see the level, that we're verifying, with the plan that we're going to enroll them into to make sure that they can qualify and it doesn't come back. I don't want to spend 45 minutes or, an hour doing this and denied because they, in their system, have it as a unlimited Medicaid to another carrier. So it's very important that we're always utilizing the carrier for.
Thank you.
And just to add on that, if and we'll get into Sunfire soon, but just to add on that, we, even though it's providing us a level of QMB, for instance, we don't know which carrier is pulling from, right? So that's why we want to check and make sure. All right. Go ahead, Lee. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question on that. If that carrier portal is down, then we just automatically go to Sunfire. That would be our go-to.
If the carrier portal is down, this would be something that you want to make sure that you're other resources and other perspectives on that movie. Luckily, for any of you else still around in 2024, that was messy. Right? The systems got hacked. Medicaid went down, for I believe it was 8 months. I mean, it was just a big problem. But what happened was agents got in the habit of just putting in a random number. I can just go, 1, 2, 3, 4 as a code, or I can put in this, random number in for their Medicaid, and they allowed it to slide for a little bit. Some of these carriers, and people have bad habits from that. Now it'll get denied. If they go and for a specific number that you put in the system, they will deny that policy. So if that were to happen, I'm going to go ahead and knock on my desk right now that it doesn't happen again. But we will have further guidance. Typically, the system's working appropriately, and we'll be able to provide it. But if they have what level of Medicaid they have, as well as verify it in the system. But I'm assuming you were around back then, Lee, whenever all the systems went down and everybody had to pivot to other means.
Yeah, it was the Wild Wild West.
It was. I mean, there were people, oh, you don't pay nothing at your doctor? You're Medicaid, man. Ms. Johnson, I'm going to help you out with this, to get grocery allowance, everything else. People would just write up policies. Ms. Johnson was so excited about it, and then she get a denial. Yeah, that was the Wild Wild West.
The code's the 000. My manager used to have me put 000.
Yeah. Anthem stopped that last year. They started just kicking them back. Deny. But yes, I remember.
All right. Go ahead, Michael. Did you have a question?
Yes, sir. So if that were to happen, worst case scenario, you could always call the carrier, right, directly and find out, hey, you guys are down, and do you have any resources, right, to pulling up Mr. Johnson's information here, right?
Yeah, some systems have backup systems. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Gotcha. Yeah, call and, if we're not able to truly verify, then, follow up whenever the system is back up. Casey?
Any others?
Just a quick question regarding the Medicaid verification. If the client has like a recent letter that shows the actual QMB Plus or their Medicaid level status, are they able to email that letter to us so that we can make sure we attach it to our system? If the systems are down or no? Is that too much?
I mean, really, what we haven't found, Casey, is that we've had any problems with the systems being down in quite some time. Now, more resources is always a good thing, but, a lot of times we're going to have other steps that we go through prior to having them email us to be able to verify, and your manager will be able to sign off on that. All you'll do is have a conversation, hey, this is down, I did verify at these 2 other sites showing the QMB Plus, and then the manager, could possibly give you an approval on that. But again, I'm going to knock on wood here, but, hopefully we don't have anything like that happening anytime soon.
And then the level of LIS typically dictates or shows exactly kind of shows their level of Medicaid. If they have LIS level 3, typically it's like QMB or QMB Plus.
Well, 3 is typically institutionalized, and 2 is a lot of times is an indicator. LIS level 2 have been having, possibly one of the higher levels. LIS level 1 typically is just that. They have extra help on their medications, but no posture protection when it comes to the doctor and or specialist.
Thank you.
But it's not 100%, but a lot of times it does align in that manner. But there is certainly times that people have LIS level 2, but they don't have that.
Not dying today.
All right, so moving on to 15. So Mrs. Walters has a D-step HMO MAPD plan and travels from Ohio to Texas and ends up going to the emergency room. Will her MAPD plan pay part of the bill?
And that's a yes.
Yes, and Diana wanted to
Deanna.
answer this. Deanna, I'm so sorry. Deanna.
That's okay.
Thank you. All right, and Deanna, why is it going to pay?
Well, because she's in an emergency situation, so an HMO will pay for any type of emergency services, if they're obviously not in network.
Yeah, that's correct. All MAPD plans have worldwide emergency coverage. Outside of the country, they do have limitations, but inside of the United States, they're able to go to any emergency or urgent care nationwide. Perfect. All right, any questions on this one? All right. Question 16. If a client has QMB Plus and Medicare and lives in an area that does not have any D-SNP plans available, is it okay to enroll them into a traditional MAPD plan? Yes or no? And Ms. Kent, go ahead.
Yes. Because if there are not any D-SNPs available, you can't enroll them in a D-SNP. You kind of got at that point with what you have available. And a lot of times in those areas, they don't have a D-SNP plan. They have something that may be a little bit kind of comparable to it in a regular MAPD.
Yeah, get them some dental, get them some vision. In that plan they may give them transportation. It would provide them additional benefits instead of just having original Medicare and just a PDP. And also just to add some other information here, this person is QMB Plus. All right, so for in-network visits in the MAPD, the QMB Plus is going to pick up the out-of-pocket cost for them. Right, so they won't have to worry about that as long as they continue to be cost share protected. That is correct. All right, thank you, Ms. Kent. So moving on to question 17, a single plan that combines both your Medicare and most of or all your Medicaid benefits and services is called what? Who would like to answer 17? Dana, go ahead.